Hey guys, what's going on? It's King Clutch here, and today, guys, we're back in the NBA2k19. Now, today, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be talking to you guys about the best way to get your slasher badges on Hall of Fame, like Relentless Finisher, Posterizer. Mainly Relentless Finisher and Posterizer, and Tireless Score, possibly as well. Now, in my opinion, it's the easiest to do it in my career game. So quickly, I'm going to go hop into a my career game. You can definitely do this in, you can do it in park and stuff like that. You can do it in drills and stuff like that too, but it is easier in my career now. Definitely, like, I'm playing against the Warriors right now. I'm not gonna skip these games because it's the conference finals games, but with these, what I'm gonna tell you guys is it is better when you're going up against like a worse defender, somebody like, you know, just some guy you don't know, or a smaller player depending on what position you're in. But definitely a smaller player is better. Going up against everyone on the Warriors, obviously, like, it's the best team you can possibly play in my career, next to LeBron if you have a small forward. But I'm just going to talk to you guys real quick now. Obviously, this is easier when you're going up against either a smaller defender or a defender that's not as good. So what you're going to want to do is call for the ball, like, up here on the wing, and then you're going to call for a screen. Now, don't even hold turbo. You can either hold turbo towards the end, but against KD, this is a lot harder than it would be per se other players. Against Kevin Durant, it's going to be a lot harder because he's probably one of the better players you're going to go up against between him, Giannis, and LeBron. Probably Paul George as well. But pretty much besides anyone besides the four of them, this is extremely easy to do. Most of the time I wouldn't skip it. It's just because most of the times I would skip it, but it's when we're going up against the Warriors and it's the playoffs, I kind of want to try and win the game. Where do you guys think Anthony Davis is going to go, or if he's just going to stay with the Pelicans as I am on the Pelicans? So I'm just curious what you guys are thinking. Like, the Lakers have offered a ton for him. Makes me feel kind of like they're literally giving up like their whole team for Anthony Davis, which is kind of crazy to me. Let's finisher on Hall of Fame, and it definitely does help, especially on park. Like, almost impossible to do against Kevin Durant. Like, it's extremely hard. It just doesn't work most of the time. But what you're gonna want to do, I'll explain it to you guys. I'll show it to you guys one more time. There's also another really easy method to do that I'll show you guys that works against teams like the Warriors. So if you run on the right side, and you guys, if you run baseline here, watch. So if you run baseline, usually when you get down here, you'll get like a bump animation. But with KD, it's really hard to get any of the bump animations. And then right when you're coming around the corner is when you'll hit turbo. But just against Kevin Durant and like really good perimeter defenders, it's hard because you don't get the bump animation and you can't get through them. So all you want to do is call for a screen, and then you'll run towards the hoop and hit turbo like right once you're running around the corner. And it usually works pretty well. But once you guys, when you're going up against teams with like really good defenders like the Warriors, what you're gonna want to do, just set a screen on your point guard. You set a screen for your point guard, and most of the time they always switch. Set a screen on their point guard. Make sure you kind of get contact on them, and usually they'll switch. So if they'll pass me the ball, look, you're just gonna you literally just post the point guard. Usually, if you want to try getting a pump fake to make sure the center gets out of the way, and every single time you do that, you're gonna get stuff for either posterizer if you dunk, or Relentless Finisher as well. And what you can do that works on pretty much any difficulty, because they switch it every single time. They always switch the screens. Like, for some reason, they don't help on the screens either, which is just strange. I want to see if we can slow this down. We'll give it back to Drew Holiday and wait for him to come back out. Definitely when you do this, though, scoring on the fast break is definitely another nice option. Most of the time, you're going to either get fouled, and then you'll get your and one. But if you have the opportunity to run on the fast break, do it that way. That's obviously the easiest way. But if you're running out of the sets, just call for screens, and usually you'll get that bump animation. It is easier when you're like not as high of an overall, because you're going up against a lot worse players that usually aren't as good as defense, and that can't stop you. Against Kevin Durant, it's extremely hard. He's probably one of the hardest people to try this against. But what you can always do is just do the thing with the point guard and set a screen on the point guard, and they'll switch it. Which is strange. It's literally every time they switch it. Because if you set a screen here, they'll switch it. As you can see, Curry's guarding me. I'm starting to post him up here. Now they're doubling me. Now they're doubling me with Draymond. Now, usually they don't do that, but usually you can just do some sort of post move, move the right stick back and forth, and get a good shot. These guys, too, it's harder because they negate all of your badges, and you don't have any of your badges. But when you go up against, like, not as good teams, like the Knicks or the Nets, most of the time you're usually able to, you know, do this method pretty well. And if the thing on the wing doesn't work, where you set the screen and you run baseline, but they switch it every single time. Like, look, they switched it again. And right here I'm posting Steph up at the top of the key. Now it's like you can just back him down the whole way to the hoop. There's nothing he's able to do. And you're going to get your Relentless Finisher, difficult shots, or whatever. It's a really easy way to get difficult shots too. You just do that every single time, and they can't stop you because you're just bigger than them. and you're gonna definitely hit a lot of your twos, you'll hit a lot of your relentless finishers, and that's just a really good way to do it. And what you can do is you can just spam that, put it on 12-minute quarters, put it on Hall of Fame, and it's still gonna work because you just have a weight and size advantage. I know it's kind of boring, but it works, and it's a really easy way to get Hall of Fame relentless finisher along with posterizer. You can get tireless scorer that way too by posting up, which is helpful. But all in all, it's just an easy method to get the badge. Katie's gonna miss that, but here most of the time, if you have a fast break opportunity, take it. This should help you guys. Hopefully it did. But anyways, guys, it's been King Clutch here. Hopefully to get you into the video. Anyways, have a great rest of your day and peace out, guys. Thanks.